On a Monday morning in early 2025, Beirut streets buzzed with life. Children heading to school, the aroma of coffee in the air. For months a fragile quiet had held, not true peace, but a pause in violence. People dared to hope, to rebuild, to imagine a future beyond war. Then the roar of warplanes shattered the calm. Explosions rocked the southern suburbs, glass rained onto streets, and the city's brief interlude was over. Israel's jets struck deep into Beirut, targeting what they claimed were Hezbollah positions. The ceasefire, painstakingly negotiated, was obliterated in minutes. From the hills, columns of smoke rose, each one a new tragedy. This was no border skirmish, it was a direct assault, a message delivered with bombs. Israel declared its aim was to dismantle Hezbollah's capabilities. But for those on the ground, geopolitics vanished in the chaos and fear. The war had come home again, and the cycle of destruction resumed. For Lebanon, history was repeating itself, loudly, violently, and all too familiarly. The November 2024 ceasefire was born of exhaustion, not trust. It demanded Hezbollah withdraw from the south, creating a buffer zone, while Israel paused its attacks. Both sides saw the deal as temporary. Israel watched for violations. Hezbollah bristled at ongoing Israeli presence and surveillance. Each side accused the other of breaking the spirit of the agreement. For Israel, renewed rocket fire was the final straw. For Hezbollah, demands to disarm, while Israel remained armed, felt like surrender. The ceasefire was always fragile, stretched between irreconcilable positions and deep mistrust. Lebanon's weak government could only watch as tensions simmered. The peace eroded slowly, undone by small violations and unresolved grievances. War's return felt inevitable, not surprising. To understand this conflict, you must understand Hezbollah and its patron, Iran. Born in 1982 with Iranian support, Hezbollah grew from resistance movement to powerful militia and political force. Iran's funding and weapons made Hezbollah the crown jewel of its regional axis of resistance. In return, Hezbollah serves as Iran's deterrent against Israel, projecting Tehran's power to the Mediterranean. The group's arsenal threatens Israel, but its decisions are often shaped in Tehran, not Beirut. Lebanon is caught in a struggle far larger than itself. Hezbollah's actions, framed as Lebanese defense, are deeply tied to Iran's regional ambitions. The tragedy. Lebanon is the battlefield. Its people pay the price. Sovereignty is sacrificed for protection. Hezbollah is more than a militia. It's a parallel state. It runs schools, hospitals and charities, filling gaps left by Lebanon's failing government. For many Shia Lebanese, Hezbollah is provider and protector. This deep integration makes disarmament nearly impossible. But it also undermines the official state, which is powerless to control its own territory or prevent war. Other communities see Hezbollah's military independence as a reckless gamble with Lebanon's future. The state within a state is Lebanon's central unresolved dilemma. The first casualty of renewed war was the idea of home. Over 500,000 people fled southern Lebanon and Beirut suburbs, ordered out by Israeli warnings. Highways jammed with families carrying what little they could. Many had only just returned from previous displacements. Lebanon's economic crisis left them with nowhere to go and no resources. Schools became shelters, parks became camps, and the state could offer little help. The cycle of displacement deepened old wounds, leaving a nation of refugees within its own borders. Before the escalation, southern Lebanon was rebuilding. Bulldozers clearing rubble, cement factories working overtime. Then these tools of recovery became targets. Israeli airstrikes destroyed construction equipment and factories, crippling reconstruction. Israel argued anything that could aid Hezbollah was fair game. This blurred the line between civilian and military targets, deepening civilian suffering. The strategy aimed to prevent Hezbollah's recovery, but mostly punished ordinary people. The tools needed to rebuild lives were systematically destroyed. Recovery itself became a casualty of war. Lebanon's government watched the crisis unfold, powerless. Statements were issued, appeals made to the UN, but real action was impossible. Sectarian divisions and Hezbollah's independent power left the state paralyzed. The government could neither stop Israeli attacks nor control Hezbollah's actions. Public trust in institutions evaporated. People relied on communities or non-state actors for security. The state's impotence was on full display. Unable to protect, unable to decide. Lebanon drifted, trapped between an external aggressor and an internal force it could not control. This paralysis is at the heart of Lebanon's tragedy. Hezbollah's support among Shia communities was once unwavering, rooted in identity and resistance. But endless cycles of war and displacement have bred exhaustion. The promise of victory rings hollow when homes are destroyed again and again. Quiet doubts are growing about the cost, about fighting for foreign causes, about endless sacrifice. Some now question Hezbollah's strategy and its ties to Iran. Open dissent is rare, but private conversations are changing. The group's strength depends on popular support. If that erodes, its position weakens. Hezbollah now faces not just Israel, but growing disillusionment at home. The society of resistance is tired, yearning for stability and a future beyond war. Lebanon is a square on a crowded Middle Eastern chessboard, caught between Iran and Israel's proxy war. Bombs and rockets are messages between distant capitals, not just local acts. International powers play their own games, often ignoring Lebanon's needs. The Lebanese people are not chess pieces. They are resilient, rebuilding amid ruins, sharing what little they have. Their endurance is legendary, but it should not excuse global indifference. Lebanon deserves to be seen as a nation, not a battlefield. Its struggle mirrors the region's deepest conflicts. Stability here is a global imperative, not just a local wish. The fate of Lebanon foreshadows the future of the Middle East. In this battered land, the world can glimpse both tragedy and hope.